Okay, we just saw some beautiful, spectacular Starship test flights, but SpaceX isn't the only company working on human space exploration.
2, 1, fire.
This footage is from September 2nd, when NASA contractor Northrop Grumman successfully tested one of their solid rocket boosters. These boosters will be a part of NASA's Space Launch System, or SLS, and will provide the majority of the thrust needed to get astronauts into space and on their way to the moon. The SLS is a new, unproven rocket NASA will be using for their Artemis program. Artemis 1 will be just an unmanned test flight. If all goes well, Artemis 2 will be the first crewed Artemis mission, sending humans on a flyby around the moon and then returning to Earth. Later Artemis missions will involve humans actually landing on the moon and lunar exploration, and could be affected by this test. Northrop Grumman has already completed 5 other tests to qualify their boosters for flight, and the booster for Artemis 1 is already at Cape Canaveral in Florida, getting ready for the inaugural mission. The purpose of this test was to evaluate new materials and processing in the hopes of improving booster performance for later missions. This is the largest solid rocket motor in the world. It's over 17 stories tall and 12 feet in diameter, which is a little over 3.5 meters of booster girthiness. The booster here is bolted to a test stand and oriented horizontally for testing purposes. It was supposed to fire for just over 2 minutes, and everything went according to the plan. While many rocket engines use liquid fuel, one way to understand what you're seeing here is to think of a candle, or fireworks, or a stick of dynamite even. They all use solid fuel, and excluding the candle can't be easily turned off once they start combustion. The booster has now expended all of its solid rocket propellant, and I find the robotic quenching system very satisfying. This clip here shows a technician actually scraping the propellant for one of these boosters off of a mixer. The propellant solidifies like cement and is packed into a cylindrical shape that has a hole in the middle. This way, as it combusts, the exhaust gets pushed through the hole and is directed out of the nozzle, providing a controlled thrust, pushing the rocket in a specific direction. Now, if you're asking one of the most common questions, which is this booster reusable? I have bad news. This particular one here is just a test article, but the boosters that will be used to lift astronauts into space will be fully expendable. I'm a huge advocate of SpaceX's reuse philosophy, and not using solid rocket boosters at all is a part of that. I'm actually not a big fan of solid rocket boosters in general because, aside from being discarded after single use, they're among the worst culprits in rocketry when it comes to polluting our beautiful blue planet. But what I am the biggest fan of is space exploration. If it means we get to have a human presence on the moon, I say let 'em burn. Integrated with its friends into the full SLS vehicle, this booster will be a part of the most powerful rocket in the history of humanity. NASA claims that as soon as 2024, the Space Launch System will be ready to get humans back on the moon. This means the first woman ever will be putting her boot prints on the moon very, very soon. The Small Stars channel is all about human space exploration, and I look forward to my next Artemis program video, where we'll dive into the Lunar Gateway system and its very interesting halo orbit around the moon. Please like and subscribe, and if you want to go above and beyond, consider becoming a patron. Open your mind and reach for the stars.